So the new camping setup is this pickup truck right here. It's a 2023 Nissan Frontier. It's the 4-door version with the long bed. It makes it a long wheelbase. It's got the 6-foot bed. I purchased a Lear 100 XR camper top for the truck, and we're going to try it out in Cades Cove for the first time this weekend. Well, we got into Cades Cove about noon today. Today's Saturday, April the 15th. And so far we've had pretty good luck seeing some wildlife. So far I've seen what looked like a mama and 3 cubs and probably a big male bear. And I think I've seen the mama and 3 cubs twice today. Seen some turkey, and now we're leaving the vehicle and walking down this path heading out to a field where there might be some activity. We'll see. There's a lot of bird activity down in Cades Cove today. I've heard, oh gosh, a ton of birds, and all kinds of different ones, different varieties. And I was able to get a really good picture earlier this morning, and I'll show that in the video now. So I got the D500 with the 500mm lens on it, and I've set it up on my Robust tripod with my Really Right Stuff BH55 ball head. Boy, I just thought I saw something move. I came down to Cades Cove on this weekend to test out my truck camping setup and do some photography. So I'm staying 2 nights at the Cades Cove campground. So that gives me about 3 days of photography. Today's Saturday, April the 15th, 2023. Tomorrow morning about 4 a.m. it's supposed to start raining. And I believe it might rain all day. If it does, I'm probably going to go hiking somewhere and try to get some waterfall photography. But today, Saturday, I was wanting to concentrate on wildlife. So far today, I have seen 2 different bear. A big male bear, and in a different location, a female with 3 cubs. And I think I've seen the female twice today on 2 different sides of the loop road. And I've seen a whole bunch of birds, heard a whole bunch of birds, took some photographs, and different varieties down here. There's not a whole lot of people down here today. There is quite a few, and they have implemented the parking pass thing, so I had to stop at the kiosk at the entrance to Cades Cove Loop Road and pay $5 for the day. So I parked off the side of the road and walked down this path and found this open field down here. And it just looks like a good place to maybe find some activity. And I'm down here set up with the D500 on the Robust RC5570 tripod I have, which is my sturdy platform. As you can see, it's just a beautiful day out. It's about 68 degrees, just the right amount of breeze going on, so it's not too hot. And the clouds over the mountains are really, really beautiful today. I'm glad I came this weekend. So we had a pretty good first day at Cades Cove, and we saw a lot of deer, a lot of bear, and I'll show some of those photographs in the video. None of them are really spectacular. The Bayer were too far away, and I did get one pretty good shot of a buck that still had his rack, which is kind of unusual for this late in the year. And I heard about him, or one of them here that still had their rack. So we're gonna head back to the campsite, make a little supper. It's almost 8 o'clock. The sun's just going down, and we're gonna get back to the Cades Cove campground and get put in for the night. Well, good morning. I say good morning because it's 7:30 a.m. This morning we're in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and we're going to go up to the Chestnut Top Trail and look for some wildflowers this morning. So the Chestnut Top Trail is located just outside of Townsend, Tennessee at the Y, what they call a Y, and it's just before the turn to Cades Cove. The Brown Book says it's 4.3 miles one way, but we're not doing 4.3 miles today. We're going to go up into the trail, probably about a mile, looking for wildflowers, and then we're going to come back to the parking lot and do some other things this afternoon. And right off the road, real quick, I already see some flowers. There's a beautiful flower right here. I believe that's a trillium. And I see all kinds of stuff just right here near the road. Right there. So we hope to find quite a few unique wildflowers this morning. So I brought along the 105 macro lens. That's the F mount lens I've got on the Z6 II using the FTZ adapter. I also brought along the 70 to 200 Z lens, and I got the 24 to 70 with me, but I won't be using that one this morning. I mean, when you look at these wildflowers, they're so delicate looking. And I don't know, it's just, you wonder why they were put here. Beautiful, really beautiful. I just love to find wildflowers, especially little ones like this. And you can see by the size of my finger how little they are and delicate. Just walking up the path out of the parking lot, and I spotted a whole bunch of different varieties of wildflowers like these right here, and I'll have to look them up to identify them. I'm not a wildflower connoisseur, but I do love taking photographs of them. We're going to head on up the trail, see what else we can find. So we're up on the trail, and the sun has peeked through the fog. Like I said, it rained this morning. And one thing I want to mention here is I packed my Ulanzi travel tripod just for this specific purpose. But folks, let me tell you something. Don't waste your money on a travel tripod. They're too flimsy. You can't get them into position you want. They're not steady enough to take macro shots like I'm trying to do this morning. I may have to come back here later today and bring my bigger tripod. These wildflowers up here is just tremendous, and I'm trying to get some macro shots with my 105, and it's real hard to get the Ulanzi travel tripod into the position I need it in. I'm gonna bring my other tripod, my Leofoto, up here. It's more sturdier and more versatile. I'm just gonna leave this Ulanzi in the studio at home. I'm not gonna bring it out hiking anymore. I can't return it. I tried to return it. It has to go back to China because that's where I bought it from, and it's gonna cost like a lot of money to send it back, so I'm just gonna have to keep it. Use it in the studio. So this is the shot I'm lined up on now on these flowers, and I'm in pretty tight. I don't know if you can see on here. Probably see the sky reflection. We are just finding a whole bunch of compositions up here with wildflowers on this trail in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. As you can see, I'm set up on a composition here with the Z6 II and the 105 macro, and I just love to find little flowers like this hidden behind leaves, and the sun is just coming out. It's really got some good lighting right here. So I'm going to take some close-up shots of this, and I'll show those in the video now. Well, we've been having a pretty good morning doing some wildflower photography, and I think I'm going to wrap it up and head back to the vehicle and switch gears, and going to do some waterfall photography, and I'll be showing that in this video also, so stay tuned. We drove up to the sinks along Little River Road, and I was going to hike to a point that said it was Meigs Cascades, but it looked like it was pretty far up the trail from where I was at, and I had some other things I wanted to do this afternoon, so I turned around. But I'm glad I did, because I ran across some flowers here I want to show you that I took some photographs of. I just think these trilliums are really pretty and unique. And we have one right here next to that log, and then there's one just further up the hill a little ways. And I made photographs of both of these, and I'll show those in the video now. Coming to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is a treat for me. I just love it up here. I love the peace and quiet. I try to make 2 trips a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And right now this is the springtime trip. And yesterday I was concentrating my efforts on wildlife in Cades Cove. And today I'm doing some wildflower photography. And in a little while I'm going to do some waterfall photography. So I got up pretty early this morning and got ready to go, left my campsite and made my way over to Chestnut Top Trail. Got there about 7:30. There was nobody there yet, and it was cloudy. So I was able to get some wildflower photography accomplished. And now I've moved over to the sinks and hiked the trail back there looking for some more wildflowers. Later on, I'm going to leave the sinks and head over to Tremont and do some waterfall photography, or really cascade photography is what I'm really looking for. Something unique. Well, we've come up to Tremont, and specifically up to the end of the Tremont Road where the Middle Prong Trail starts. And we're just looking for a few compositions this afternoon, and we'll go up here and see what we can find. So this is not my first time to Tremont. I come up here pretty frequently during the year, 2-3 times a year. And we come up here to look for some compositions in the water today. It is springtime, so this is all new growth, and it should look pretty today. The hike on Middle Prong Trail out of the parking lot is not a hard hike. It's not even a long hike to where the action is. It's about a mile to where most of the photographs are taken. And it's not a hard, difficult trail. Most anybody can accomplish this. It's on an old railroad bed, very gentle grade. It's uphill going in, and then of course downhill going out. So the sun has been in and out all day. It was supposed to have been cloudy today, and so far it's not been very cloudy this afternoon. It was cloudy this morning when I was taking wildflowers photographs, but now it's kind of cloudy and then kind of blue sky. So it's going to make for a challenge to get some shots this afternoon. So the first waterfall you come to is Lower Lindcamp Falls, and that's what that is right there behind me. And then you go on up a little ways to Upper Lindcamp Falls. We're probably about 3/4 of a mile out of the parking lot at this point. There's a lot of sun out right now, and I'm not too sure, unless we get some clouds, which may happen, I'll have to come back and maybe shoot that with the 70-200. So as you're making your way up the trail past the Lower Lindcamp Falls, you'll come into view some of the Upper Lindcamp Falls. It's kind of hard to get down to that. I've been down there before, but it's a little bit rugged. I would only do it if I was experienced. Well, I made it up the trail about 1.25 miles, and I fell off the trail onto this little composition right here. Yeah, literally, I fell. But it's okay. I've fallen before. So this is what I'm working with right here. And I've got this rock as a foreground interest. There's some rocks in the middle that got quite a bit of moss on it, and the sunlight's just hitting them just right. What I'm going to do is take a shot with those rocks lit up, the moss on it, the green lit up on it, and then I'm going to wait for the sun to go in behind the clouds and take my long exposures, and then I'll blend all that in Photoshop. Well, I went up the trail a little bit further and found this composition right here. So I went ahead and made a few photographs of it, and I'll show that in the video now. So every time I come to Tremont, I find new compositions, and sometimes I don't have time to take a photograph. I may be on a mission, like going to Indian Flats Waterfall or something like that, which is a 8-mile round trip hike from the parking lot. So I don't always have a lot of time to just sit and ponder. But all along this trail, this old logging road, they've got benches carved out of logs that you can just sit down and look at things and study things and see a composition. just like what I'm seeing right now. So right over there, in between them trees, on the other side, is a composition that I want to take a photograph of. And just as soon as I get done resting right here, I'm going to take you over there and show it to you. Here's the benches that they made out of old logs. And we're probably about 1.25 miles, I think, out of the parking lot. And I'll be just going a little bit further, maybe another 1/4 mile, and turning around. I'm gonna make my way down to this composition I'm talking about. And it's really a neat thing. It's a large stone that goes all the way across the creek, and it's forming little waterfalls along its edge. And if you can see that, you can see the little fingers of water coming over that. And I'm going to try to capture that in a photograph right now. Well, that's going to about wrap it up in Tremont. So it's a full day of photography. We did wildflowers this morning, waterfalls this afternoon. The sun, it's cooperated a little bit today. Anyways, if you like the video, appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to keep up with everything I do, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and click on the little notification bell. That way you get notifications when I put new videos out. Anyways, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now. Well, good morning. It's Monday morning, and we've come down to Cades Cove to do some wildlife photography. So far, we come through the front gates this morning at 7 a.m. There's about 15 cars in front of us. And right off the bat, we saw a gobbler and about 3 hens, and he was showing himself off pretty good. And I'll show some of those photographs later on in the video. Right now, we've kind of pulled ahead of him. He's making his way over to another area, but we're kind of waiting to see where he shows up, see if we can get some more photographs of that turkey. I was here yesterday evening and saw quite a few bear in activity, some deer, and got some photographs of those also. And I found a bear down in the woods that I'm photographing right now. It's kind of walking the other way from me, which is a good thing. You don't want to change the behavior of these animals. I'm going to try to get some photographs of it here if it pops out in the sun or out of the woods. You probably can't see it, but it's right over there in between all them trees. And like I said, I'm set up down here in the woods. People are up on the road stopping, watching it, but nobody's found me yet. Well, that was pretty exciting for me. I came back to an area that I was at earlier this morning and spotted a bear. And I walked down in the woods, not knowing that the bear would be down in the woods area. And I was able to get some photographs of it without disturbing it. And then it was really windy down there, so I think when the bear hit the open field, it got a little skittish and ran across the field to the other woods. but I did get some great images, and I'll show those in the video now. Well, so far today we've seen 2 or 3 different bears, lots of turkey, and a lot of gobblers strutting their stuff. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up for today and head on out of Cades Cove. I've been here for 3 days, time to go home. Got to go back to work tomorrow. So hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the pictures, and if you like the video, thumbs up would be real nice if you could, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel and watch my videos that I produce about once a week now. And if you want to get notifications, hit the little bell. Okay, well, thanks for coming along. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.